Hello everyone, welcome to the tour of Inner Mirror on the Wall. My name is Paul Robert Bersabe, a graduate student in University of San Francisco's Master in Arts in Education Technology. I'm putting this screencast together to highlight my capstone project for the graduate program. I would like to thank my family for supporting me in my academic endeavors, especially my wife, Vivian. I would also like to thank Dr. Bancevich, Dr. Unerkat, Dr. Lopez, Dr. Burke, Dr. Mashine, Dr. Carroll, and Professor Saragosa for helping me along the way in my journey. I would also like to thank my classmates for giving me constructive feedback on my projects and assignments. I'm going to go over how Inner Mirror on the Wall came to be. I'll let you in on some of the tools that I used to make this project happen. Also, I'm going to talk about the theories behind the project. Next, I'll talk about how the Education Technology program became an invaluable resource throughout my progress. Then, I'll get started with a quick tour of my learning module. Finally, I'll close this screencast with future iterations of the project and suggestions for improvement. As a parent of 3, my wife and I are always challenged with an endless barrage of hurdles. My moments of epiphany were a series of events that I felt were very preventable. Our middle child has been having a very tough time in school. As a former Master Resilience Trainer in the Air Force, I learned and taught about life skills that were helpful for airmen facing adversities. Unfortunately, my son's school did not have a robust source to learn these tools. I wanted to use my platform as a graduate student in education technology to create meaningful and life-changing lessons to help adolescents with building up their resilience. These are the list of tools that I use for my lessons in Inner Mirror on the Wall. The MacBook Pro is not as agnostic to various software as Windows-based computers. However, it's a powerhouse for someone like me who uses many different programs simultaneously without bogging down the system. Snowball is perfect for audio captures. And fortunately, Office 365 is compatible with Mac and is my default suite of apps for creating the architecture of my lessons, especially PowerPoint. I used Copilot and Gemini for image creation when PowerPoint and Canva do not have the image I'm looking for. I used Adobe Photoshop to remove unnecessary parts of the images like backgrounds so I can make transparent PNG images and use them in my PowerPoint. ChatGPT and Claude were very useful for my late night brainstorming sessions when I had no one to bounce ideas to and from. For me, I would upload my academic papers for them to use as a source of different ideas for my lessons. Finally, the course is hosted in Articulate 360. It's a very intuitive and user-friendly tool. It just costs a lot of money for a full year license. For my course, I incorporated UDL, TPACK, and Mayer's multimedia learning theory. I combined these three to create my lessons that are more representative of any audience, maintain engagement, reduce cognitive load, leverage technological advances, and integrate my own experiences with the tools. The science behind resilience is not new, but the theories are just recently coming to the forefront of preventative practices in wellness and health. Resilience theory and the positive psychology framework talk about how people create different ways to adapt to adversity and thrive. Cognitive behavioral theory and theories of self-reflection and identity development are tools and methods to help understand the benefits of self-reflection and identity formation. Completing this capstone project is the highlight of being a Master's in Education Technology program. This is the part where we get to demonstrate the culmination of our hard work and dedication throughout the last 2 years. In Made to Stick, I learned valuable lessons on how I can present my lessons and make them memorable. I also learned in learning designs and navigating the divide, critical theoretical understanding, exploring brain-based learning, curriculum design for modern classrooms, cognitive load theory, and the pedagogical challenges of technology. Each class on theoretical aspects is paired up conveniently with the appropriate practical execution. In Digital Storytelling Lab, which is the partner for Made to Stick, I learned how digital audio production can make for great lesson content creation. I also learned in Media Lab how to craft screencasts that I will continue to use in my future projects and endeavors. Overall, the program has been instrumental in helping me get to where I am now, as a confident and aspiring education technology professional. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and do my video tour for Inner Mirror on the Wall. So this is my course in Resilience and Self-Reflection, Inner Mirror on the Wall. The front page gives you a brief overview of what this course is all about. It includes a lesson list for the whole course. Let's get started. As you can see on the left menu, it won't let me skip to other lessons. The lessons are divided into blocks with different ways to interact with them. I included the syllabus in the welcome page as well as lesson breakdowns. There is a pre-assessment form to fill out to help me understand the learner's perspective. It opens up a new tab, so we'll just take a look at it as a sample. And this is the pre-assessment questionnaire. Go ahead and close out of this and move on to the next portion, which is at the bottom of each lesson before the continue button. I placed a PSA in case any learner is experiencing urgent and emergency challenges far beyond the Resilience Toolkit's abilities to help with. And we'll go ahead and continue forward. This lesson is about resilience and self-reflection. The first part is about resilience and the 5 pillars. This is an interactive portion or interactive block for learners to find out about the different pillars of resilience. And then the second part over here is the self-reflection video that introduces learners on the benefits of self-reflection. And then once again I have this form, and I'll go ahead and close out of. For this first part, I included 2 quizzes that will not let you move forward unless you provide the correct answers. I have not tried giving the wrong answers. So we'll go ahead and continue on to the next lesson, which is values. Just like the previous lesson, this has a mixture of casual reading and interactive elements. So for this part, this interactive element is called a deck of cards, flashcards. I have my video introducing the learner to the attributes of values. This one is scenario-based training. It includes 2 different scenarios on which values conflict with each other, and another practice knowledge check. Once again, I added a Microsoft Forms for the self-reflection portion of this lesson. And we'll go ahead and continue on to the next lesson, which is gratitude for being. So it follows the same format and content to keep the learner engaged and interested. Now I added some quotes for other interactive elements, as well as this accordion style menu. So it only shows its content once you click on the positive sign and collapses it back again when you click on the negative sign, like so. And we'll continue on to the next lesson. This is about minding our gaps in our thoughts. So more light reading, it gives you an idea or background of automatic negative thoughts. So in addition to the accordion style menu, I also added a process element which helps the learner absorb the information better. As you can see, there are different ways to counteract the effects of automatic negative thoughts. More quizzes, another form, and we'll go ahead and move on to lesson 6. So lesson 6, for this one I did not provide a knowledge check simply because the content requires more narrative, more text, which the Microsoft form already fulfills. So I didn't add a knowledge check. Plus, knowledge checks are only choices in Rise 360. I don't think, or I've tried doing text input on quizzes and it won't let me. And the final lesson is putting together all the skills. I included a sample daily self-reflection checklist over here. Then I added a process block to help the learner with recalling tools, or recalling the tools. Gratitude and spiritual board of directors. I added the summary, and finally the pre-assessment form in the form of the post-assessment is right here. So you can see it's identical to the pre-assessment. The aim of having a pre-assessment and post-assessment questionnaire is to find out how effective the lessons have been in helping the learners build their resilience through self-reflection. This concludes my tour of Inner Mirror on the Wall. I hope to continue with lesson content creation through different platforms. I wish to use this project as part of my own portfolio and to further my career goals. Besides Articulate 360, I'm going to look for other platforms to use so I can enhance my own understanding of these different technologies and tools. Thank you very much for joining me in this journey in creating meaningful lessons. I wish you wellness and health in your journeys.